Okay, thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm coming to a conclusion, Derek. I think I've come to a conclusion. I think I actually have to. I'm gonna have to go to a place and bring the phone, and I don't know. So we've been trying to go live since 5 minutes to 9. Each day it's taken a little bit longer to get live. Have to restart it like 3 or 4 times. Have to restart it like 3 or 4 times each time now. So we apologize. We're not late. We're just late. Okay? We're not late on purpose. Good morning, Kim. I heard you were going to be painting reindeers soon. That's an interesting occupation, Miss Kim. Kim, I feel like giving it a good throw across the room, but then I'm like, nah, that's acting out my frustrations, and I feel so much healthier when I don't. When I just
through it. I
yeah,
wanted to.
Brock came close.
I was really freaking close.
Yeah, and I'm over here being the calm one. I'm like, no, set a peaceful example, Pops. Don't raise your voice at the phone. The phone wouldn't know if I was yelling at it or not. Billy D. Bill says that Brock threw a shoe at it.
Got it.
Oh, got it. Oh man, never gonna live that one down. Good morning, Classic. Take a few minutes, you guys, and say good morning to each other. Say good morning to each other. Give yourselves some hugs and some goodnesses. 21 people, 7 likes. I think you don't like it when I start late. Good morning, you guys. Good morning, Niffy and Dawn and Hags. Good morning, Classic and Carnivorous. Good morning. Nerds. Mike Butterball. You can't just say Mike. You have to say Butterball. I don't know. I do. I don't know. Good morning, Four Leaf. Lee. I can see Lee. Thank you, Lee. That cup was given to us by Niffer Mama. Niffer Mama had that custom made. It's custom made. You should see the other side. Thank you, Mike. Butterball. Good morning. Wazzy's here. Good morning. Take a few minutes and say hello to each other. Yeah, I don't blame you, Jesus Christ. You don't need excuses. You just want results. I get it. I get it. I get that way sometimes. Don't give me excuses, just give me results. Well, the results are we're going to start at about 9:09 this morning. That's the results. How that happened, you got to talk to my phone, okay? I even tried to start early this morning in case there was phone issues, which there were. Higgs, I agree. I agree with my buddy Higgs. Better late than later. You know what I'm saying? It's better late than later. Sometimes I'm like, I'm late, so I'm just not gonna go. Is anybody ever like that, Dutch? Have you ever gotten where, you know what, I know I'm already late, so I'm just not going. Sometimes it's just better to be late than later. Okay. Good morning, Mr. 420. There he is. Good morning to you. Classic, you know what we're talking about. You know what? I'm already late, so just forget about it. Greenie, there's my guy. There's my green guy. Trenty the Trenty Trenterson. Captain Obvious. I see all of you. Now you guys see me. Good morning. Better late than never. Yeah, Kimberly, don't. I'm not. I am going to completely commiserate with you if you're having technical difficulties, issues. I'm right in that group. Okay. Good morning, friends and friendlier ones. Thank you, Greenie. I got ready early to show up late. How do you like that? I got up early to show up late. Boop. Okay, let's start out with a couple of random mythos. Okay? Rando facto mythos. Hello? I must be going. I've come to say I cannot stay. I must be going. I'll stay a week or two. I'll stay the summer through. But I am telling you I must be going. What group, what comedy group sang that song in one of their movies? What group of comedians? I think it was the oldest brother sang it. Who do you think? Hello? I must be going. That's it, nerdy. The Marx Brothers. Man, I ate up the Marx Brother movies when I was young. I almost can't watch them anymore. They're too silly. But I love Groucho. The Marx Brothers. Groucho and Harpo and Zeppo. Who also? Chico. Who were the brothers? Name the brothers. Who were the Marx Brothers? Gummo. Gummo was one of like number 5 or something. There wasn't a Poncho. No, that was a Western. Anyways, that's too far in the past. My wife gets a little grumpy when I call her Groucho Marx. That's silly. She must already be grouchy when you call her Groucho. Okay? Oh, jeez. Okay. Barney Fife. Yeah, he made me nervous too, especially when he got his gun out. Remember Andy wouldn't let him have bullets? Remember Barney Fife? Andy was take his bullets away. Guy's carrying around a gun that didn't work. That's so funny. The deputy sheriff in town. Oh, he got one bullet? Did he? Wait, he got one? I don't remember him even getting one. I thought Andy would take him away. There it was, Chico. That was the one I was thinking. Oh, eggs. Harpo, Groucho, Chico, and Gummo. And then there was Zeppo. There were 5 altogether, but you didn't really see Gummo or Zeppo very much. They were more the straight men. But it was Groucho, Chico, and Harpo. Okay. He carried it in his shirt pocket. Is that what happened? He'd have it in his pocket, and he'd have to get it out and load the gun if he was going to chase somebody. You know how funny that is? Is it true or isn't it true? He kept it in his shirt pocket. I'm glad you guys remember the details. That makes it even funnier. You get one, but you have to keep it in your shirt pocket. That's funny. Let me ask you guys a question. Is gun ownership up in the United States? TV land. There's some good old shows, right? Is gun ownership up in the United States? Yes or no? Herbie, I know. How do you get to be a cop? You guys are saying yes. 92% of you are saying yes, gun ownership is up in the United States. Guess what? You're wrong. But you're kind of right. Though gun sales are increasing, the portion of the population that owns those guns is going down. So fewer people are owning guns, but the gun owners are stockpiling. How do you like that? So they're getting more. Four-leaf, you know me, and I don't have a gun. We used to. I did at one time. A number of years ago, and then I was like, I don't need a gun. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to put this away. I used to go target shooting after very good eye for shooting. A quick story, I'm in the Marine Corps boot camp. There were about 120 people started boot camp with us. We graduated, I think, 71 guys out of boot camp, out of our group. And I was the #1 marksman in our platoon in boot camp at marksmanship training. I had the highest score. I always hold on to that idea. It's the biggest thing you can do in the Marines is be a good marksman. Matter of fact, there was a time I thought, you know what, I'm going to go and try to qualify as a primary marksmanship instructor. It's called a PMI, and it's a job in the Marine Corps where when you're in boot camp, you spend 2 weeks at the rifle range learning all about it, snapping in, and then the last week you're shooting, and then the final day you qualify, and that gets you your first badge on your uniform. The very first badge that a Marine gets is his marksmanship badge. There's 3 different badges. There's expert, there's sharpshooter, and there's marksman. And you can tell when you look at a guy's uniform how he qualified. And then you have to qualify again every 3 months the whole time you're in the service. So, and believe it or not, you also got promoted. The better a marksman you were, the better your chances of getting promoted were. Because every Marine, no matter what your job, your military occupational specialty is, every Marine is taught first, you're a rifleman first. No matter what your job is, no matter what you do, you're a rifleman. Now we'll get you other qualifications and get you other stuff that you can learn here. But if you can't shoot a rifle, they wash you out of boot camp. Boom, you gotta go. You can't play here. One of my major advantages is I had never shot anything more than a BB gun before I went into the service. BB gun at Crows or something. A lot of the boys are coming from a background of hunting, guns and things like that in their family. And they already had habits. They already had certain habits. And the Marines would break you down from all your existing habits and teach you their procedure. The Marine Corps procedure for marksmanship was an acronym called BRASS. BRASS. What does that mean? It means you go breathe. Because when you breathe, you actually raise the weapon automatically. It just goes up. So your first thing is you breathe. relax. Now your sights drop back down onto your target. Aim, sight, squeeze. No jerk. No. So it's breathe, relax, aim, sight, squeeze. Right, Billy D? Yeah. So I'll never forget my brass routine. What percentage of Americans do you think have passports? What percentage of Americans do you think have passports? Give me an idea. 22%, 60%, 32%, 32, 30. So far, 32 is the closest. So far, 32 is the closest. 37%. Good morning, Laura. 35, Metal Gear's right in there. Aaron, 37, that's the right answer. The actual figure is 37%. How fast can crocodiles run on land? How fast do you think crocodiles can propel themselves in on land? Stubby little feet. They're charging. Here they come. What's their top speed? Oreo's got them going as fast as a cheetah. Okay, Richard Nash, you're dead on. 10 miles an hour. 10 miles an hour. 10. Do penguins tip over if they look up, like straight up in the air, like maybe an airplane's going by? They look up to see the airplane. Do they fall over? Can a penguin look straight up? Or do they fall over? Whoa! Fall over backwards. Which one? Penguins tip over when they look up. I've never seen them try either, Oreo, but it makes sense. Okay, I have a feeling they're like bowling pins. Okay, an airplane goes by, the whole colony goes down. Okay, not true though. While penguins can get scared and flee to their nests, they do keep their footing when they're looking up. They do keep their footing. Okay. Goldfish. You talk about a weak fish, right? Goldfish are weakies. Is that a true statement? Good morning, Finn. Goldfish. Pretty weak? What do you think? Baraball's saying, no way. The flower's jumping on board. Goldfish can survive for hours outside of water. They do this by going into some sort of hibernation until they're returned to the water. Some strong little buggers. You ain't killing me. Take the water away. I'm just going to go into hibernation, dude. Till you bring me some water. How about this one? Roasted chicken is healthier than fried chicken. Right, Hags? They bounce ping pong balls off their head in the carnival, don't they? I want a goldfish at a carnival one time. You get them in the plastic bag and take them home. I got home with the plastic bag and my dad's like, what the hell is that? What do you plan on doing with that? Can I keep it? You know you're gonna have to feed it, right? It wasn't even like, yay, congratulations, good job, or anything. I almost got in trouble. I had to like beg to keep my goldfish. I'm gonna surprise you by telling you his name. Goldie. I was very, very creative naming him. My little guy Goldie. Roasted chicken is healthier than fried chicken. Just one chicken leg from a roasted chicken contains the same amount of fat as a scoop of ice cream. Therefore, a roasted chicken is just about as healthy as fried chicken. They're right about the same. Yeah, Kimberly, I named him Goldie. I don't know if it was a girl or a boy, but I named it Goldie. Okay? Coconut milk is healthy. Coconut milk. Fluffy was your goldfish. Metal, that's a good one. Fluffy. Almost sounds like your goldfish had fur. Okay? Coconut milk is healthy. Just a quarter of a can of coconut milk. Quarter of a can. That's kind of dumb. They're not even telling us how big the can is. They should at least give us a cup or something. A quarter of a can of coconut milk is 3/4 of your daily recommended intake of saturated fats. Can someone please tell me how big the can is? I'd love to know what, you know what I mean? That was kind of a dumb one. That's kind of dumb. Carrot cake. Carrot cake is healthy. Sanam, how do you know though? How do we know it's an 8-ounce can? Could be a 16-ounce can. Personally, carrot cake's my favorite cake. Absolutely, yeah. I think if you asked a one-armed man how big the can is, he'd say it's about this big. Don't ask a one-armed guy the length of something. It won't be helpful. Okay? Carrot cake. Just one slice of carrot cake has 560 calories, which is about equal to eating 14 pieces of bacon. "14 pieces of bacon in one slice." That's out of line. That's another one though. Like, I bet different cake slices, depending on the size of the slice, depending on the ingredient in the carrot cake. How could they say that? They're not even telling us the size of the slice. Okay? That's like, the slice could be the whole cake based off of. I don't get it, Higgs. I love bacon, but I've really slowed down on bacon in the last 2 or 3 years. Like, I almost felt a bacon floating down one of my arteries one time. I was like, whoa, I think a whole slice is going through. It's heading straight to my heart. I gotta stop it. Okay? I could almost feel the slice. How about that? Soy sauce. Soy sauce. Just 1 tablespoon. Now they're getting exact on their measurements. That's better. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce contains 38% of your daily recommended intake of salt. Right, Sue? Liquid salt. I once went on a job interview. I was looking for a kind of a higher level management position. It was with Home Depot. And the job interview was going to be at a restaurant. Dinner with the managing big shot vice president guy. And he invited me to dinner. And the dinner was going to be the interview. Well, that's a little pressure. This guy has to watch me chew steak. I have to chew the steak just right or I might not get the job. Not really. But here's what happened. We're having a meal. And the questions and everything, and basically I had to try to impress the guy. I want a job. At the end of the interview, right, Jesus, I didn't do that. I didn't lean over. I didn't do a one cheek sneak, anything like that. If I was even close to needing to one cheek sneak, I politely excused myself from the table. But so we're having dinner. At the end of dinner, he basically said, I think I'm going to offer you the position. Yay, yay, yay. He goes, you know what? He goes, let me give you a couple of clues. One of the things I look for when I have somebody to dinner for an interview, one of the things I look for is when they were walking in, did they have their hands in their pockets? If you had your hands in your pockets, I wouldn't have offered you the job, because you would have looked slouchy and kind of lazy. I want somebody that stands up tall and sharp. I'm like, thank God I didn't have my hands in my pocket. And he goes, and there's one other thing I look for. Wait for this one. He goes, a lot of people, when the waitress puts their plate in front of them, the first thing that they do is they reach for a salt shaker and they just start salting their food. If you do that, I won't hire you. No matter what kind of your qualifications are. I want to see somebody that tries the food first before he salts it or changes the flavor. He goes, and I noticed that you didn't salt it first. I'll never forget that. It's weird. It was his thing. It was little clues that he had taught himself to look for. But if you're going for a job interview and you're eating dinner with the prospective boss, don't salt your food first. Okay? Exception, he was actually a great boss. He taught me a whole lot of stuff. So, but it was just, he has certain things that, he'd look at it and go, this guy, he can't even wait and make a decision based off of the facts in front of him. He's automatically assuming stuff. And if you're doing it with your salt, you might be doing it with programs at the job. I was like, I get it. I get it. It's his little idiosyncrasy. Interesting though, huh? And so now, after that, I've never once salted my food without tasting it first. Never once. Even though I'm not looking for a job with you. First thing I do, and then I find out often I don't need to add salt. Okay? No, Streety, that's exactly what it was. It was his own. He was looking for certain types. And he has the right. He's the big shot. Okay? But in a small way, it made a lot of sense. I'm just lucky I qualified. Yeah, I'm just lucky. Hags, I like pepper. I like black pepper a lot. Excuse me while I grab a napkin. Yeah, I like black pepper. Thank you, Vegas. Actually, no, it just got long enough to comb back nicely. But I am getting a cut this weekend, I think, for the summer. I think I'm going to go high and tight. Crew cut. I think I'm going to get myself a crew cut situation. But thank you, sweetie. You always are very, very sweet and kind to me. Thank you. I'll take a compliment from Vegas any day of the week. Fresh cracked pepper, too. I agree with you, Paige. I like to grind my own pepper. A mid-fade would look great on you. What's a mid-fade? I'll have to ask them. Mid-fade me. My friend Streety, who's super handsome, said I'd look good with it. So I think I'm going to try it. So today, Fantastic quick article in Tricycle Day newsletter. Follow with me. Feel it to heal it. How's that? Well, that's a neat factoid, Aaron. Thank you. Feel it to heal it. All our practitioners agreed strong emotions aren't problems to be solved, but rather messages to be heard. Did you hear that one? Our emotions are not problems to be solved, but they're messengers to be heard. I absolutely love that. Because sometimes we won't own our emotions, or sometimes we deny them. Or sometimes we pretend we're not feeling what we're feeling. Sometimes we're looking for a solution to our emotion. There isn't a solution. Your emotion's telling you something. It's a message. I love this, Higgs. Joe Ross reminds us to know that your emotions are rising to be felt and processed. So meet them with gratitude and curiosity. Rather than pushing difficult feelings away, she suggests we let them know they are welcomed and loved. Man, I like that. This is such a healthy way. Hello, anger. You're welcome and you're loved. Hello, fear. I have gratitude for you. It's interesting. I love the perspective. Amanda Chandel puts it bluntly. Watch this. Watch this one. Watch this one. You're not broken. You're defrosting. Microdosing can loosen the emotional freezer drawer. So when old grief or rage comes up, it's actually a good sign, even if it sucks. The key is presence. Don't bypass it. Be present. Joey Bothwell takes this idea even further. Be with them in real time. They are showing you parts of yourself that have been rejected and dismissed for too long. Ride that wave with the part of you you have been ignoring. You deserve your own presence. Get your body involved. Many practitioners recommend moving emotions through the physical body rather than just thinking about them. Monica Lebsock explains, if emotion is energy in motion, then we need to bring in movement. It may look like lifting weights, running a mile, or dancing wildly in the kitchen. Eliza Collins specifically recommends rhythmic movement. Putting on some music and rhythmically moving your body is one of the most effective ways to process emotional tension. Things with a constant beat like EDM or drumming actually help to regulate and stabilize the nervous system. Oksana Kirisanova says that it helps to notice where emotion lives in your physical body. Look for tightness, heat, tension, and bring gentle awareness there. She suggests various forms of movement: dance, shake, walk, stretch. Do things to help the energy move and release. Next time you guys see me and I'm going through convulsions, I'm just releasing emotions. Movement has its place, but so does slowing down. Mary Decker recommends nourishing yourself with grounding food, skipping coffee, and creating space to breathe deeply into the emotion. She also advises being mindful of your set and setting. Avoid dosing on high stress days or when overstimulated. I agree, Paige. Somebody said here that they go out and they mow the lawn. That's a great one. That is a great one. John Moore recommends a personal practice for emotional agility. When emotions arise, practice this 3-part process. Acknowledge, pause, and reframe. As he puts it, you have to name it to tame it. And reframing the experience lets you shift from being the victim of your emotions to the creator of their purpose and meaning. How much do I love that? Name it to tame it. I have to know what it is that I'm experiencing in order to handle it in a wellness way. And reframing it means I'm in charge of it. It's not in charge of me. Our take. You've probably heard that adage. The only way out is through. It may sound cliche, but what can we say? Cliches become cliches for a reason. Notice that not one practitioner offered a hack for making difficult emotions magically disappear, because that'd be missing the point. These tips are all about being with these feelings and embracing them as valuable signals from within. Remember, if your emotions ever feel truly overwhelming or destabilizing, it may be wise to pause your protocol and seek professional support. But most of the time, these moments are invitations to go deeper and finally give those long buried parts of yourself the attention and compassion that they deserve. Man, that is some wisdom right there. That whole thing. Good stuff. We're going to hit another thing here in a moment. But let's do a giveaway. I always feel good when I can give something away. I know you guys feel the same way. Give me a number between 1 and 50. You can put up to 3 numbers on a line at one time. Kim, that was some really good stuff. Name it to tame it. Give me a number between 1 and 50. The first person to say the number that's in my chute here, I'm going to send a pack of supplemental supplements. There's Dimitri. Good morning. I haven't seen the number yet. Keep bringing me numbers. Jeremy, you can put up to 3 on a line at one time. 3 guesses at one time. Keep on bringing me some numbers. Nope, I haven't seen it yet. And it's not. It's a red ball, actually, 4-leaf. It's a red ball. What do you guys think the number is? Don't tell me I'm going to have to give a hint again. You know, I've been hinting you guys quite a bit lately. Here's a hint. LT's really close. LT's numbers sequence, he's all around it. Okay? Go up there and look at LT's comment. And then pick a number somewhere around that. Okay, Oreo, gotcha. Oreo, killing the game, killing the game. Oreo, 46. 46. By golly, by gum, it's a 46. We're gonna love to send Oreo. I don't think I've ever sent Oreo anything. So Oreo, you're not gonna be a never winner before or now, okay? Oreo, send me your address at the Detroit Mush Lab, all one word, at gmail.com. Now, Oreo, make sure you're in the United States and that you're over 18. Okay? Over 18. Over 18 and in the United States. Alrighty? Aaron, thank you. That's what I'm sending to Oreo. Okay, good enough, Oreo. You send me your address, and we'll be sending out this weekend a pack of supplemental supplements. Okay? LT, if you need something, you can always write to me. Same address. Okay? So let's dive in to an incredibly complex, very simple, complex, simply complex, complexly simple emotion. You ready for this one? Yesterday we were discussing defensiveness. I got a couple of letters from a few of you, two or three of you, yesterday where we discussed defensiveness just a little bit more. Laura Devine wrote me just a wonderful little note, and it was filled with beautiful self-analysis. I was like really proud of Laura too. She was mining, and she was coming up with, Pops, I'm going to be working on my defensiveness. And she shared a little bit of personal stuff. And she wasn't the only one. Defensiveness is something, if we really don't want to go there. It shuts off so many other things. The minute we get defensive, our ears close, and we end up creating more problems in relationships. The fastest way, I shouldn't say the fastest, an incredibly ethical way, an impeccable way of dealing with your emotion is to tell the truth. Our, right, nerdy, it hit a nerve with a lot of us. Our culture, I'll just say our culture, it's the only culture I know. It teaches us to not really own our truths. We are taught, we're taught to be in denial. Especially, I'll say, at least in my experience, men. Men we've been trained from childhood to not own some of our emotions, to deny them, pretend they're not there. So that begins the process of stuffing. Now we start stuffing stuff. And that's one of the things that we're talking about earlier in our little reading earlier. The microdosing has opened up a lot of my stuffing. It's allowed me to defrost. Good morning, David. How about this quote? Listen to this quote. I'm not sure there's a braver sentence in the human catalog of brave sentences than my feelings are hurt. It's simple, it's vulnerable, and it's honest. But we don't say it very often. We get pissed off, or we hurt back, or we internalize the hurt until we believe we deserve it, and that something is wrong with us. But rarely do we say, this really hurt my feelings. I've been reading this for the last 2 days, and I'm trying to remember the last time I told somebody they hurt my feelings. Even when they did. Lately, I don't get my feelings hurt too much because I've practiced the second agreement. But it's so incredibly, it's such a powerful wellness tool to just say when you're hurt, just tell the person, I'm sorry that hurt me. The definition of hurt. No, and if we're taught the exact opposite, stuff it. If you admit you're hurt, there's something wrong with you. And it's really the exact opposite. If we admit we're hurt, A, we're having impeccable communication with somebody, and B, we're not going to stuff it. It's out. Once it's out of me, it has no power in me. As soon as those words leave my mouth, a lot of the hurt goes with it. The definition of hurt. Individuals who are hurt experience a combination of sadness at having been emotionally wounded and a fear of being vulnerable to harm. When people feel hurt, they have appraised something that someone said or did as causing them emotional pain. We all know that it's really scary to put our heart on the line and say, I feel wounded and sad about what happened yesterday, and I'm afraid to get hurt again. That's deeply vulnerable, but it's also universal. Every one of us have been there. Every one of us have had a time when we were hurt. But what do we do with it? All of us has felt this way often and a lot. It's impossible to be in relationships and avoid ever feeling hurt. Just as it's impossible to know love without knowing what it's like to have a broken heart. Vangelesti and team explain that hurt happens through social interaction. In fact, hurt feelings are most often caused by the people with whom we're the closest. Most behaviors that result in hurt feelings are not intended to be hurtful. However, the more intentional the action is, the more hurtful the feeling will be. Our hurt feelings are typically experienced simultaneously with other emotions, such as sadness and anger, anxiety, jealousy, or loneliness. As a result, they don't always feel the same way as most other emotions do. However, research indicates that even though hurt feelings are a mix of several emotions, they are actually a distinct emotional experience, not just a combination. As I was explaining this to my teenage son, all I could come up with is the rainbow snow cone analogy. There's grape, and cherry and lime, lemon, orange, and blueberry. But you don't really taste all of those when you eat a rainbow snow cone. You taste them all together. Our reactions to hurt feelings is usually self-blame. We might cry, lash out, retaliate by trying to hurt the other person. Or then you'll seek relationships that just bring you comfort. When reparation doesn't seem possible, hurt feelings will turn into anger and sadness. One thing that motivates me to be a little braver in how I handle my hurt feelings is research that shows when we respond to hurt feelings with anger, the other person tends to match our anger with their anger. I can tell you this has happened in my kitchen about 1,365 times. However, when repair seems possible and we share our feelings and we try to reconnect without the anger, the other person tends to respond with constructive actions, including apologies and amends. When we're hurt, often the person doesn't know they did it. If we explain to them, that hurt my feelings, that gives that person an opportunity to repair it, to apologize, and to amend. When we tell the truth, communicate impeccably, we're giving the other person, not only are we growing, but we're giving the other person the opportunity to understand and grow with us. When we don't tell them the truth and we just take the hurt and we roll with it, there's damage done to both sides. This is the crux of most of my relationship with my brother. My brother had an amazing ability to hurt my feelings. I was sensitivo boy. And many, my brother's a wonderful man. Just a prince of a human. He didn't even realize that some of the things that he did or said were hurting me. But I never told him. I'm not going to tell him he hurt my feelings. Yeah, I'm just going to stuff that one. And our relationship has never really grown. It will now, when I'm able to. We're just geographically so far apart. But so much of my relationship with my brother was me stuffing hurt feelings. And there's still things I'll have to work through with him. Someday when we're able to. But we don't have the wholesome relationship of bros because I wasn't able to tell him that and give him an opportunity to stop, change, apologize, understand what he had done. And then I would just go home and cry about it. Or I would do something else. I would gossip about him. That son of a bitch. He doesn't even understand that he hurt my feelings. Well, why are you telling someone else instead of the person that actually hurt your feelings? We're really good at that, aren't we? We're really good at telling other people how so-and-so hurt them, but we didn't tell so-and-so. That's not impeccable. That's gossip. And it's terrible for your soul. One last note about hurt feelings. Researchers Mark Leary and Carrie Springer, right, Four Leaf? It isn't even about being chicken. But I understand what you're saying. It's not that you're chicken. It's just you haven't learned that skill. You haven't learned the importance of just owning hurt feelings. It's a social skill. One last note about hurt feelings. Researchers Mark Leary and Carrie Springer have interesting thoughts on the language of hurt feelings. Am I still gossiping if I tell others I care about what someone did to me so they can protect themselves? If you just volunteer it, nerdy maybe. I tend to wait till I'm asked about somebody or an experience before I just volunteer this happened. I'll wait till somebody invites me to explain my experience. It's not going to be gossip then. I was invited to give my experience. And when the invitation's given to me, I'm going to give my experience with kindness still. It's not going to be an attack on the person. It'll just be about the action. Unlike most other emotions, the expression hurt feelings lacks obvious synonyms. Some of the synonyms that we think match hurt feelings are wounded, pained. But these words are typically not used to describe emotional feelings. Also, although many emotions, such as sadness or grief, can be described as painful, hurt feelings seem to have a more specific connotation than just a general emotional pain. An example might be grief. If I'm grieving over the loss of someone close to me, I might tell you I'm really hurting. But I probably wouldn't say her death hurt my feelings. It's a great reminder of the power of language. When we're expressing emotion, it's important to differentiate experiencing hurt from having hurt feelings. Powerful, powerful stuff here today. I've never once regretted calling a timeout at home or work. Not once. I've never experienced a little time and space being a bad thing. But I have plenty of regrets about the other way around. What's Dakota say? If someone hurts you and someone else you know knows the same person, and you know they are going to hurt them too, and you don't say anything, is that bad? There's a lot of assumptions in there. I'm not going to say one way or another. I think we'd need more specifics, but I'm reading a lot of assumptions in there. And I don't want to assume that just because somebody hurt me, they're going to hurt someone else. Now, if I know somebody's just a pure evil dude, I don't have a problem telling somebody, this was my experience with that guy. I'm not going to call him evil, but this was my experience, and I suggest you watch yourself. That would be about as far as I might go. If a person goes out of their way to do you dirty, I'd share that experience. I have lots of people that have gone out of their way to do me dirty. You don't know about it. Why? Why would I tell you? Why would I tell you? Oh, to protect you? You're big kids. You're big kids. If you're practicing the second agreement of not taking things personal, you're practicing the third agreement of not having expectations, you'll be able to handle that. You should be able to handle it. It's not my it's not in my headspace to trumpet other people's weaknesses. I would prefer to trumpet their strengths. Now these are all generalizations. Don't kid yourself. There's times I know that I need to help somebody get in front of a situation. I know the bus is coming. I'll definitely do my best to move them out of the way. You know the bus is coming. This person's gonna do this or that. But you just really have to watch what your motivations are. You have to, I do. Because it's a slippery slope. And oftentimes, because somebody did me dirty doesn't mean they're going to do another person dirty the same way. That just, and I have to always remember grace. I have to have grace for people and their situations. Warnings, Dakota, again, we got to watch it. And this is you're just asking my opinions. I'm not giving you these. This is the answer. This is just how Pops is trying to operate his life. This is just how I try to operate. And I remember from the perception of being impeccable, I want only good words to come out of my mouth. Even when they're about someone that isn't necessarily that great a person. I'll find something wonderful to say about them. We'll be surprised at how much that'll heal a person that we think is evil. And they just don't know. What did Kim say? Kim's always got great advice. Don't send danger your friend's way. Of course not. Yes. Yes. But I'm with Laura. I'm basically, I have this most beautiful framework that I work with and I practice. And I can see where I'm getting ready to violate my second agreement with myself. I'm getting ready to take something personal. Hey, I can feel it coming. I can feel it coming that I have an expectation. I sent somebody something and how come they haven't said thank you? I can feel these things coming. And I practice not to have these things. And the more we practice, the stronger we get, and the more universal they become in all of our actions. This is a great conversation we're having. This is great. I love reading your guys' comments to each other and back and forth as I'm yapping over here. There's some beautiful perspectives out there. If we're always grounded in kindness, if that's our original motive, is kindness, we already know about half of what we're supposed to do. We already know. There's people out there, I could give you a list of, let's say 5 right now, that are like people I avoid because of things that have transpired. But I don't publish the list. I don't publish that list and tell everybody, look out for these people. I mean, they were bad enough that they got me to a point where I'm done. And I worked as hard as I could through the steps to not get there. But if I got there with something and someone, that's between me and me. I don't necessarily think you're going to have that same situation with them. And if you do, you'll be able to handle it if you're practicing wellness. It's one of the big problems is it will always be gossip. I've been in groups, churches, social organizations. It was. I've been in groups. And the thing that'll kill a group faster than anything is gossip. It is so, well, I'm going to use the word sinful because the word sin means it misses the mark. It's so far off the mark. And you can create schisms. And now you got people following this guy, and now you got people following that guy, and now you got this, and then the gossip starts flowing back and forth, and now it creates anger, and now it creates separation, and now it creates division, and now people are taking sides. One of the thing that, and you see us, we do it here. We absolutely avoid gossip. We avoid it because I have the experience in my life of seeing gossip tear things apart. Beautiful things. And we have a beautiful thing here. We have a wonderful thing going on here. And it can go so fast, it can run away from us so fast if we engage in gossip. So that is something that I'm consistently aware of. Just have accountability. You did something inappropriate, something incorrect, something wrong. Fix it. It's not that big a deal. Good morning, Chew. Fix it. It's not that big a deal. It gets bigger and bigger the longer you don't fix it, or the more you allow the gossip to swirl. Admit they hurt your feelings. You hurt my feelings. Because somebody hurt my feelings doesn't mean I need to go tell the whole group. Joe Blow hurt my feelings. I don't need to do that. There was a day and a time that would have been my approach, and I would have tried to garner support for myself and for my own righteousness. And just trying to do that lowered me to the same exact level as the person I'm gossiping about. Your support will come when you're an example. When you're a living example. Somebody hurt you, that's between you and that person. You let the person know that they hurt you. You give them an opportunity to apologize or make an amend, but that isn't even why you said it. The real reason that you said it is because you don't need to keep that emotional poison inside yourself. If you're hurt, you're hurt. Just say it. 9 out of 10 times, the people don't even know they did it. The 10th time, and he does it again, and he does it again, and he does it again. That's the guy you start avoiding. That's the guy that gets on my list. Good conversation this morning. I'm sorry I don't have more time. Great conversation. We're going to have a really nice weekend. It's going to be a little hot here. Thank you for the good questions. Cults do this. This is what cults do. They have one guy that's up at the front. He's usually wearing like a white smock or a red jumper, onesie. And he tells you that he knows everything and that he has the answers. And that all you have to do is listen to him because he knows. I never want that to be my approach. My approach is always going to be, this has been my experience. And make it an advice. Make it and always ground it in kindness. and never. See, cults want something back. They want you to support the leader. They want you to send him stuff. They want you to sell your property. They want you to do all the work while the culty guy, he stands up there and tells you he knows everything. You want a leader, a pilot, the guy running the show should be the first guy to say he's wrong. He should be the first guy to apologize when he's done something wrong. And he should never hold himself up as the perfect example, because he's not. He's still growing. We want to lead, I'll be honest with you, leaders, the best leaders are leading from behind. They're leading from behind. Let me go back to the Marine Corps for just a minute. When there's a platoon marching, or you're running calisthenics, 1, 2, 3, 4, hear it for the Marine Corps, and you're running, do you know where your drill instructor is? Do you know where the drill instructor is compared to the platoon running? He's in the back, yelling out cadence from the back. And you know why he's in the back? In the flank, on the flank, but in the back. You know why? Because maybe somebody stumbles and he can help lift them up and get them back into formation. You can't see that if you're out in front acting like the biggest big shot. Servant leadership. Lead from behind. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. I'll quit preaching now. It's very important that we look for servants to lead us. The guys that'll wash our feet. Are you a foot washer? Have a great day, you guys. Thank you for the wonderful questions and this just super good conversation this morning. We'll continue in this vein forever, as long as we can. Have a good day, you guys, and a weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Brock Monday, myself Tuesday. We're going to have a 4th of July. We'll have to figure out what our schedule for that is. But take away 4 things today. The 4 agreements. I agree to be impeccable. I agree to not take things personally. I agree to not have expectations. And for today, one day at a time, I agree to do my best today. Whatever my best is today, I'm going to do it. Thank you, Vegas and Mr. 420 and Mike Barabal and Michael Patterson and Jesus Christ and Dakota. Great questions today, Dakota. Vaggie and Derek Anderson and Oreo and Jesus Christ and Cleany, my good man. And Nippy, thank you so much. Angels don't fall. No, they fly. Mike Barabal, Deborah Pearl, Billy D, Angels, Herbie Von Werby, Kabop, love your Herbs, Pidgey Page, Mr. 420. Sue isn't a little Meyer, she's a big Meyer. Herbie, and Nerdy, and John Zook, and Mike, and B. Hendricks, and Hags. Love you, kid. Snap. Hags and I are like that. Angels and Captain Obvious and Sammy P. And Jesus and Glassic and Kimberly the Golden Bolden. Dakota and there's my Jolie. Love you too, Michael Patterson. Shanti. Cat Meow Zilla. Flying Angels don't fall. Laura, you're divine. Have a divine weekend. 4-Leaf. Pops. Peace. Kindness. Goodness. And if somebody hurt your feelings, it's kind to tell them. But it's kind to yourself. Because you're not going to stuff it. Pops out.